guys, so hopefully you're in alignment just now, and I'm going to show you a really lovely exercise for bringing mobility to your pelvis, loosening off the muscles in your lower back and around your hips and pelvis. Sorry, will I just get this camera positioned. Okay, so you're lying on your back and you're back into alignment, and I want you to imagine that you have a small clock face just sitting on top of your pelvis. So it's about the size of a small plate, and it's just resting here. So at 12 o'clock is where your belly button is, 6 o'clock is at the bottom of your pelvis near your pubic bone, 3 o'clock is your left hip bone, and 9 o'clock is your right hip bone. So that's where all the numbers are positioned on the clock. So in the middle of the clock face is a little marble, and what we're going to do is tilt the pelvis in different directions to allow your marble to roll onto different numbers on the clock. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through it. So from here, let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. So ribs, abdominals, and pull across your hip bones. Let's take your marble up to 12 o'clock now, so at your belly button. So now your pelvis is tipping all the way back. Your lower back is now pressing down into the floor. So we're definitely not in neutral anymore. And you're just going to hold it there. Just keep your corset laced now and just natural breathing. Okay, just settle the pelvis into neutral again. Let that marble roll back into the middle of your clock face. So we're going to do that again and just take the marble around different numbers on the clock. But I want you to think about relaxing your thighs and your glutes and just isolating your pelvis and using your corset muscles. So let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. So let's take the marble down to 6 o'clock now. So now your pelvis is tipping all the way forward. You've got more of a space now at your lower back, and the marble is rolled right down to the bottom of your pelvis. So just keep your corset laced now and just natural breathing. Keep your thighs still, don't let your knees move, and relax your glutes and your thighs. Let's take the marble up to 12 o'clock now at your belly button, so tipping all the way back, good. Let's take it down to 6 o'clock again, so tipping the pelvis all the way forward. Let's take the marble over to 3 o'clock now, so left hip bone. Try to keep your knees still, that's quite difficult. Keep relaxing your glutes as we roll your marble over to 9 o'clock, so right onto your right hip bone, good. And really try to get the marble right on that number. So we're going to take it across to 3 o'clock again, so just tipping your pelvis to the left. Lovely. Let's take the marble up to 12 o'clock at your belly button. Try to not engage with your glutes, keep them switched off. And then we'll take your marble down to 6 o'clock at your belly button, good. Let's take it over to 9 o'clock, so right hip bone. 12 o'clock at your belly button. And then relax into neutral. Good, so this time we're going to take your marble all the way around your clock. So let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Let's take the marble up to 12 o'clock at your belly button. Now relax your glutes, keep your knees still, and relax your thigh muscles. Keep your corset laced and just normal breathing. We're going to slowly work the marble clockwise. So working from 1 o'clock over to 2, now over to 3 o'clock, left hip bone, and taking it down to 4, 5, now 6 o'clock. So pelvis tipping all the way forward now. Let's take it up to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and now 9 o'clock, right hip bone. Taking it up to 10, 11, and back to 12 o'clock at your belly button, and then relax into neutral. So quite a really small movement through the pelvis, but this one's really good for isolating just your pelvis muscles and the muscles within your hips, and trying to really keep your thighs and glutes relaxed so they don't get involved with the movement is quite difficult. You might find that there are certain numbers on your clock that you're struggling to get the marble rolled onto, so that might just mean that you've got little muscles within your hips there that are particularly tight, so just focus on that number, try to get the marble right on top of it. I'm going to let you just do one more round on the clock just in your own time. Okay, so we're in neutral, let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. So just start by taking your marble up to 12 o'clock, And then we're going to slowly work around the clock now, just taking your time. Keep your corset laced, relax your glutes and your thighs. Relax your shoulders as well, and just feel the pelvis. And really focus on getting that marble right on top of those numbers. And just work around your clock clockwise, just do a few rounds on the clock. You might find it gets a little bit easier. Okay, let's do one last round on this clock. Good, keep relaxing your glutes. And when you're done, relax into neutral. Lovely. We're going to take it round anti-clockwise now. So let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Let's take the pelvis back, let your marble roll at your belly button at 12 o'clock. We're going to take it over to 11, now 10, now 9 o'clock, so right hip bone, good. Taking it down to 8, now 7, and now 6, so pelvis tipping all the way forward. Let's bring it up to 5, 4, now 3 o'clock, try to keep your knees still. Taking it up to 2, 1, and back to 12 o'clock at your belly button and relax into neutral. Lovely. I'm going to let you do a few rounds of the clock, just going anti-clockwise, so working to your right. So inhale to prepare, exhale and lace your corset. Let's start by taking the pelvis back, let your marble roll at 12 o'clock. Okay, just natural breathing now, but keep your corset laced, and we'll slowly take the marble round anti-clockwise. And again, just trying to visualize your clock face, visualize that marble, and just focus in on any areas that feel particularly tight, keeping your knees still, and keep relaxing your thighs and your glutes. Lovely. Let's keep that going. You might find as well that going in one direction is easier than the other. For me, I do find this direction a little bit trickier. Lovely guys, making this your last round on your clock. And then relax into neutral. Lovely. So the next move, we're going to do some straight leg extensions. So we're going to be lifting one foot just off the floor, and we're going to be keeping it low to the ground and straightening your leg away. So your leg is lifted, but it's still quite low to the floor. We're going to rest your heel down, and then we're going to lift the leg up and bring your heel back in. So while you're doing this move, I want you to think about your clock face again. Imagine your clock face, but this time I want you to try to keep your marble right in the middle of your clock and not let the marble roll onto any of the numbers. So we want to keep your pelvis as steady and as still as possible, using your corset muscles to do that. So palms are facing up, your shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, exhale and lace your corset. So ribs, abdominals, pull across your hip bones. We're going to lift one foot just off the floor. So try to not let your pelvis tip at this point. Okay, just keep your corset muscles laced and just taking little breaths that you need. We're going to keep your foot low to the ground, and we're going to slowly start to straighten the leg away from the body. Just keep lacing your corset. Try to not let your pelvis tip forward, keeping that marble in the middle of the clock. Once your leg is fairly straight, take your heel down onto the floor. Quite important to not let your pelvis tip forward at this point. Inhale again. Exhale and relace your corset. So ribs, abdominals, pull across your hips. Lift your straight leg just off the floor again. And now relax your thigh. So your knee's a bit soft, and we're going to start to slowly draw your heel back in towards the body. Still keeping it really low to the ground, and still keeping your pelvis still. And then taking your foot back down once you've brought the heel in. We're going to change legs, so let's inhale. Exhale and lace your corset. Let's lift the other foot just off the floor. Now relax your leg. Keep your corset laced. We're going to start to slowly straighten this leg away from the body. Just keep your thigh relaxed and keep your knee a bit soft. Taking the heel down now without your marble rolling down to 6 o'clock. Inhale again. Exhale and lace your corset. Lift your straight leg just off the floor and really relax your leg as you start to pull the heel back in. But using your corset muscles to steady your pelvis. You're keeping your shoulders relaxed, taking your heel down good. I'll let you do a few now, changing legs each time. And you're lacing your corset before you start your move. Just keep your corset laced. You want to keep your abdominals down, so just make sure you're still breathing into the sides of the body so you can keep your abdominals flattened, keeping your knee soft and then taking the heel down. And then you're lacing your corset again before you lift the leg and bring your heel back in. We want a really relaxed and heavy leg. And the further your heel travels away from the body, the more your pelvis will want to tip forward. So the more your marble will want to roll down to near number 6 on your clock. So you're just really trying to not let the pelvis tip forward. You're using those muscles, in particular the muscles across your hip bones, to really keep your pelvis still. So working these lower abdominals quite a bit with this move. And just keep relaxing your shoulders. Scanning down the body, just making sure you're still in neutral. Your ribs are staying down, your chin gently tucked in, and you haven't let any tension creep up within your shoulders. Lovely guys, let's make this your last move. Lovely guys. Hug your knees up into your chest, just holding at the back of your thighs, either one leg at a time or both together, and just gently rock your back out from side to side. Just give your lower back a really nice massage on the floor. If it's comfortable, you can also rock back and forth a little bit, so gently tipping the pelvis back and forth and releasing the knees and hugging them back in. Good, let's take your feet back down. We're going to do that same leg move, but this time we're going to add in the arms as well. So feet and knees hip width apart, just make sure you're sitting in neutral, tipping back and forth, settling in the middle. We're going to take both arms straight up now, so your fingers are pointed up to the ceiling, your palms are facing in, and your shoulder blades are melted down. So your elbows are a bit soft, and just try to pull your shoulder blades down, flatten them into the floor. I want you to imagine they're glued down on the floor now, so they don't lift away as we take it into this next move. Okay, so same leg move. This time we're going to take both arms behind the body at the same time. So let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Ribs, abdominals, pull across your hip bones, lifting one foot just off the floor. Relax your thigh, and as you start to straighten the leg away, we're floating the arms overhead. So your leg is lifted, but it's just lifted off the floor and no more. And keeping the pelvis steady. Now taking your heel down to rest on the floor. Inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Lift your straight leg just off the floor. Relax your thigh and relax your arms. So we're going to slowly draw the heel in as we float the arms up. Still keeping your shoulder blades down on the floor. They're still glued into place. Taking your foot down, we're going to change legs. Inhale, exhale and lace your corset, lifting the other foot just off. Straightening the leg, arms are travelling back nice and slowly. And as the arms travel overhead, what you'll find is that your ribs might want to start to lift up. Your back will want to arch away slightly. So you're making sure you're still keeping your spine in neutral. You're pressing down through the back of your ribs, and your chin is staying tucked in to help lengthen into the back of your neck. Taking your heel down, inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Lift your straight leg just off the floor. Relax your thigh and your arms now. Slowly floating the arms up and drawing that leg back in. We're going to change legs and keep that going. So now we're using these muscles in between your rib cage now muscles in between your ribs to stabilise your upper body. So also now getting the muscles working in the upper part of your core. And you're still keeping that pelvis steady, just making sure your marble isn't rolling about on your clock. It's staying really nice and still, right in the middle of that clock face. Relaxing the shoulder blades down. Lovely guys, we're just going to do one last move. Lovely guys, and then just relax. Take your arms back down by your sides, turn your palms up, and just let your chest muscles relax again and open up across the front of the shoulders. So this is why we always keep the arms out to the side with your palms facing up. It's just to allow these muscles in the upper body to open up and have a nice stretch while we're lying on our backs. Okay, and it also obviously lets your shoulder blades open up and melt down onto the floor. So this time we're going to do the same leg move, but we're going to take one leg out and we'll keep that leg there as we take the second leg out as well, and then we'll bring your first leg back in, followed by your second leg. So I'm going to talk you through it. So let's inhale, exhale and lace your corset. So let's lift one foot just off the floor, keeping it low to the ground. We'll start to straighten the leg without your marble rolling down to 6 o'clock. Just making sure your lower back isn't arching. Let's take that heel down nice and controlled. We're going to keep this leg here. Inhale, exhale and lace your corset. So lift your second foot just off the floor. We're going to start to slowly straighten the second leg away now. So now we have both legs out straight, and that weight's going to pull on the pelvis and try to bring your pelvis forward. Take that heel down now. Inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Let's lift the first leg just off the floor. Keep your abdominals down. Relax your thigh and slowly start to draw the heel back in. Just keep tightening across your hip bones, resting your foot down. Inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Lift your second leg just off. Again, relax your leg muscles as we start to draw the heel in. So a really heavy leg, challenging your core muscles instead. So the leg you've just brought in, that can start you off on your next move. Okay, so out, out, in, and we'll keep that going. Just taking little breaths that you need until you finish your move. And then once your leg is rested down, you can take a proper inhale again. Excuse my cat, he wants to join in. Loves it when I do Pilates. And really relaxing your thighs. And just making sure that your pelvis isn't tipping forward. With the weight of both legs, your shoulders are also still really relaxed. Lovely guys, let's do one last move. Just make this one your last one now. Okay, lovely guys, I'm just going to let you finish that last move. Sorry about that. Distractions when you're at home. Okay guys, lovely. Hug your knees up into your chest now and just have a good stretch out. Just rocking your back out from side to side. Lovely guys. And then bring your legs back down. So, sit up onto your side, push yourself up onto your hip, and we're going to take it onto your bum. We're going to take it into a hamstring stretch here. So if it's comfortable, cross your legs. So normally we would do this stretch with a band, but I know that obviously a lot of us don't have a band at home. So start with your legs crossed. And only if it's comfortable, let's straighten one leg out. So you're keeping one leg bent and the other leg is fully out straight. I know you can't see my toe, but it is out straight. Okay, sit nice and tall from here, and if you can pull this foot in. If this isn't comfortable, guys, you can just take both legs out straight alternatively, if it's not comfortable to have that leg bent. So you're sitting nice and tall. Point your toes back towards your head. So point your toes towards your nose of your straight leg. Take your hands onto the floor, either side of your knee, of your thigh. Let's inhale. Exhale and bring your chest closer to your leg, closer to your thigh, and just hold it there. Keep pointing your toes back to your nose. And you should feel a stretch right into the hamstrings. Maybe also into your calves as well, but more into the hamstrings at the back of your thigh. Inhale again, lift back up. And then exhale and bring your chest down. Maybe just get a little bit closer. And then inhale, bring yourself up. Good. Let's cross that leg in. And we're going to straighten the other leg out now. And just keeping the other leg bent if it's comfortable. Okay, just point your toes towards your nose of your straight leg. Sit nice and tall. And you might already feel that stretch. Okay, if that's enough, you can just hold it there. You don't have to bring your chest down. If you want to get a bit deeper, let's take your hands either side of your knee, of your thigh. Inhale, exhale, and bring your chest closer to your thigh. And keep pressing your toes towards your nose. Inhale again, lift back up. And then exhale and take it down. Lovely, guys. And then just relax. Well done. So we're going to move into the shoulder bridge now. So let's take it back down onto your back. And you don't need your pillow for this move. So let's remove your pillow from behind your head. And you're also going to bring your heels a bit closer to your bum. So normally they'd be about here. Just walk your heels a bit closer in, and your arms are still by your sides with your palms fully facing up. And your pelvis is in neutral. Okay, so we're going to take it into the shoulder bridge now. Just make sure you've got all 4 points of your feet evenly weighted onto the floor. Okay, so let's inhale. Exhale and lace your corset. We're going to tip the pelvis back first of all. Just let your marble roll at your belly button at 12 o'clock. So pressing down through your lower back. And we're now going to start to peel the tailbone away. So your hips will start to lift, and just imagine that you're peeling the spine up one vertebra at a time. Just lifting all the way up until you have a slope from your knees down to your shoulders. So at the top again, let's inhale. Exhale and lace your corset. And keep tipping your pelvis all the way back. So keep that marble at your belly button. We're going to start to slowly roll the spine back down onto the floor. So starting from the top of your spine and working your way down. Try to lay one vertebra down at a time. So every part of your lower spine is touching the mat. And then let your tailbone come down at the very end of the move. So just keep tipping your pelvis back all the way. Good. Inhale again. Exhale and lace your corset. Let's start to take it into the bridge again. So tipping the pelvis back and then starting to peel your spine up. Tuck your chin into the collarbone. Just let the back of your neck lengthen along your mat, along the floor. Inhale at the top. Exhale and lace your corset. So just keep tipping your pelvis all the way back. Just imagine that you're laying a string of pearls down onto the floor as you lay your spine down, one vertebra at a time, so one little notch at a time. And just paying particular attention to your lower back. I'm going to let you keep that going now. So lacing your corset before you lift into your bridge, and then relacing your corset again before you lower. You're using your corset muscles to keep your move really controlled and balanced, and just make sure you've still got all 4 points of each foot spread out evenly onto the floor, and keeping your knees in line with your hips as well. Just make sure your knees are not coming apart. Lovely, guys. Let's do one last move. And just really enjoying that movement along your spine. Okay, good. So we're going to lift up into the bridge again. Just let you get yourself back up. When you get to the top, we're going to keep your bridge lifted now. So keep your corset muscles tight, so ribs, abdominals, pull across your hip bones. Keep your hips lifted quite high as you can comfortably keep them. And your shoulders are staying relaxed. Okay, so I want you to now tell your glute muscles to switch off and relax. And when you do that, you'll feel that your bridge wants to drop a little bit. So try to keep your bridge lifted by lacing your corset as tight as you can and just keep your hips lifted. But that's quite hard to do without your glutes squeezing. Let's put your glute muscles, switch them back on again without your bridge moving. Good, we're going to do that a few times now. So let's switch your glutes off without your bridge dropping, without your hips moving. Just keep your bridge lifted. Lace your corset a bit tighter, taking the weight of the body through the core without your glutes there to help out. And then squeeze your glutes back on again without your bridge moving, without your hips moving. Good. I'm going to let you do that a few times, just switching the glutes on and off. And instantly when you switch the glutes off, you'll feel your core muscles really have to work quite hard to take the weight of the body. So these big leg muscles, the glutes and the thighs, the muscles within your thighs are really always so eager to help us out, and they do help us out quite a lot in this move. But it just shows you how much your core muscles have to work when you tell those bigger leg muscles to relax. So this is a really good one as well for working your isolation, and you are probably feeling this in your glutes and your thighs quite a bit as well. Okay, lovely guys. Switch your glutes back on when you're ready, and we're going to roll out of the bridge. So inhale, exhale and lace your corset. Let's start to tip your pelvis back now, and just slowly rolling out of your bridge, letting your tailbone come down last. Perfect. I'm going to take it into a stretch again, so if you want to, you can have your pillow back behind your head. We'll keep your legs bent and take your arms out wide now, in line with your shoulders. If you don't have room, you can also bend the elbows. Okay, we're going to cross your right leg over your left leg now. So bringing your knees close together. If that's uncomfortable for your hips though, you can just bring your feet and knees together instead. So right leg over left, or your feet and knees are just together. We're going to gently lower both knees over to your left hand side now. Turning your head to your right hand if that's comfortable. And as your knees travel over, trying to keep your shoulder blades pulled down, especially that right shoulder blade. And you should feel a nice stretch down the side of your back now, across your chest muscles. And also just getting a really nice stretch and a bit of rotation in your lower spine. Take some nice deep breaths here. Relax into your stretch. And just allowing your knees to sink a bit closer to the floor as your muscles loosen off. Good, and then press your lower back down into the mat. Gently bring your knees back up to the middle. Uncross your legs. Let's take the other leg over now, or just feet and knees together. And we'll gently take both knees over to your right hand side. Turning your head to your left hand only if that's comfortable. And thinking about pulling your left shoulder blade down now. And just letting your knees sink over towards the floor as the muscles loosen off down that side of the body.